every major chakra out of the 8 chakra system has what's called Vittris, or they're depicted as petals of a lotus flower. The root chakra has 4 petals. Each petal other than the root chakra contains a wound as well as something that you want to embody and strive for, an aspect of your divinity, right? Or a resolution to the wound. So what's the 4 corners? What are the 4 pillars of your root chakra temple? Well, let's talk about that for a moment because it's really interesting. You've got a lotus petal that's called Dharma, which when it's out of balance, there's a psycho-spiritual longing. There's this longing to be psychologically and spiritually awake. But when you are already actively engaged in your spiritual awakening and really going into your inner psychology, what happens is you start to discover a very pure joy. So joy is waiting for you in your root chakra. The joy of discovering yourself, right? A psychosomatic spiritual longing is a joy to discover your human embodiment. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Your body is your home. No one can take that away from you. There's another pillar, interestingly enough, Artha. It creates a psychic longing, a longing for your psychic development. Isn't that interesting? You want to talk about psychic development? It starts in your root chakra. There's this deep desire to be in communion with reality through this chakra system, through the very blueprint of your human form. And there's a literal longing. Does everyone know what a longing feels like? Right? It's almost like an emptiness, like I have to have it, right? Oh. So we are all here because there is this root chakra activation that's happening to say, I am longing to become more in touch with my intuitive psychic centers. That's really exciting, right? That's a bigger longing than a fear. So no matter what you may feel fearful or anxiety about activating your psychic centers, there's a longing that's bigger than that fear. So cool. That's a part of you already. Then we have another Vittris, and that's for physical longing. Physical longing. Now, have you ever had a physical longing that has caused you to come out of balance because you had to be somewhere, but you weren't exactly sure what the motives were? Or you had to be with some person, or you had to have this experience, and there was like this physical craving for it, but you knew there was something off about it, right? You were being driven by something that wasn't completely in your center, in your wholeness. Well, when you are activating your root chakra temple, there is something that happens that is quite pleasurable, and it's called temperance. You can derive a great sense of pleasure from temperance. This ability to feel the pleasure and the sensuality of your body, but not be controlled by it. To be able to navigate what is appropriate for you emotionally and psychologically in every present moment. It's always going to be different, right? That's psychic information. Your root chakra is providing some of the most fundamental and essential information that you need in every present moment. If you are available to be inside this temple space and really listen to this foundation. The final petal is a longing for spiritual liberation. What's interesting about this Vittris is I think we classically think of a longing for spiritual liberation as get me off the earth plane as quickly as possible. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll feed 10,000 people at the homeless shelter. I'll push the broom. I'll pray to God every day. Just get me out of here. And that's not actually true ascension. True ascension is understanding that you chose this body, you chose this lifetime, you chose this planet for a very powerful reason. And it's to fall madly in love with you. Not even with anyone else. It's to fall madly in love with you. But from that space, everything spirals out that you want. And so this longing for spiritual liberation, what happens when you're in balance with it in this part of your root chakra temple is a blissfulness through concentration. Have you ever spent time concentrating on something, a project or a situation? You knew exactly what you had to do. You had to put your butt in that seat, put that pen to paper, or write that email, or show up to that event, and you really concentrated, and you completed that task. There's a blissfulness that comes from that completion and from that concentration, right? The blissful concentration that you will receive in the root chakra temple is by focusing on the love of yourself.